personal development and new age spirituality might be keeping you stuck. My name is Adrienne Grace. I am an intuitive and a coach guiding people to peak performance through mindset and spirituality. And today I want to talk about this underlying belief that's not discussed that is pervading through personal development and the manifestation community. And what is that unconscious belief? I am not enough yet. So if you look at all personal development work or all of this manifestation and new age work, there's this underlying belief that I'm not there yet and that I still need to change, I need to fix, I need to heal myself, I need to improve, I need to wake up earlier, I need to read more, I need to lose weight, I need to, whatever it is, it all is saying that as you are right now in this moment is not enough, but once you get to those things, then you'll be enough. Even in the New Age spirituality community, I think that there's this underlying thing that's going on where people are trying to chase after their created reality. And I understand, I get it. Like, we want to create our reality. We want to create our lives as we want them to be. And we are always creating our lives. But there's this underlying current saying, well, if you aren't living the life that you want to live, then you're doing it wrong. And once you can do it right and you can manifest more money or manifest your soulmate or manifest the business that you want, then you'll be okay. And I think that this is really doing us a disservice because now there's all these people that are in this lack and limitation. They might even be feeling this lack and limitation even more so now that they've gone down this route of spirituality than they even were before. And this can be very dangerous because it's just this tricky little underlying current saying that you're not enough yet and you're not there yet. We want to look at becoming present in the moment and realizing that you are already everything that you desire to be. There's no other way. You are a fractal of divine consciousness expressing itself as an individuated form. And as we know about fractal patterns, each pattern contains the infinite whole, which means you contain the infinite whole within you. So whatever it is that you desire to be, you already are. So let's just look at this and play with this concept in a little bit. Let's think about confidence. Say you want to be confident because you don't feel confident. Well, I want you to understand that confident and not confident are two sides of the same thing, right? You can't have not confidence without confidence, right? Or insecurity, let's call it, without confidence, right? It's the same thing. And actually, if you look at yourself, there are ways in which you are confident about something. You're confident about not being confident. So there's like a little bit of a paradox there. Now, once you realize this, there's a polarity there, there's two sides to this, but it's coming from one unified thing. Only one thing can create this confidence and insecurity. So as soon as you start to embrace the insecurity and realizing, yeah, this is okay, I'm insecure. I'm insecure in some parts of my life. I'm confident in some parts of my life, right? I'm really good at watching YouTube videos. I'm really confident about how I can write my name out, right? There's certain things that you are confident about. And then there's some things that you're insecure about. Maybe it's talking in front of a camera or, I don't know, public speaking or whatever it is. And that's okay. And the more you can embrace that, the more you're embracing the totality of who you are. And you can come into that one point of fullness, realizing that you are everything. There could be no other way. You're just expressing yourself as a certain fractal right now. You're expressing yourself with certain characteristics right now. And you actually can change those characteristics if you desire to do so in this present moment. And not because you're broken or you're not there yet or you need to be fixed, but because it's really cool to play in this reality. And this is why we came here. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be in a physical body and to be on planet Earth at this time. even if it doesn't always feel like that. I mean, I definitely don't feel like that all the time. I can get very entrenched in my human experience and feel like things are really hard, and I can be at my knees at times. But then I also remember, and I have times where I feel great and I feel excited about life, and I know that I'm the creator of my own reality. And what we want to do is just learn to embrace all of these ebbs and flows. I've talked about this in other videos before, but if you were to look at an oak tree doesn't say like, I'm not a good oak tree today, I'm going to try and be a better oak tree tomorrow. No, this is a very human thought, and this is what the whole personal development space has been built upon. And it's sad because it is talking to something in us that gets triggered, that we do feel this inadequacy or this incompleteness, and then it really harps on that. I mean, there's so many videos, and I can get really pulled into this too. I'll see a video or I'll hear someone speaking and I'll be like, oh yeah, I think I need to heal that about myself, or I need to do that, or I'm not doing enough in my business. I need to wake up earlier. I need to do more reach outs. I need to do more YouTube videos. I'm not as consistent as I want to be, right? There's so many things that are constantly telling us why we're not enough yet. And I don't want to play that game anymore. I don't know about you, but I'm opting out of that game. And I'm coming into this place of living in the fifth dimension, which is pure love, which is understanding that every single thing that's happening in my life is happening for a reason, for a higher order. Even if my limited human mind can't see it in the moment, I understand that I'm part of a whole and I'm part of something bigger. And there's just this one point in time that, you know, my consciousness has a bit of a mask on it right now. And so I can't see the full picture. And I think as long as we start coming into this and start learning this, and being present in the moment instead of letting our mind kind of control the narrative. The mind is always going to feel inadequate. That's one of the core delusions of the ego, is that it feels like it's not enough. It feels like it's incomplete. And because in a sense, the ego is incomplete because it's actually just a construct. It's just a mind-made thing, right? It's the ego isn't actually who you really are. I don't want to say it's not real, because it obviously is real. It's an anchor that keeps us anchored into this reality, but it's not the truth of you. And so, yeah, the ego could be shattered in a second. And so, of course, it's scared. Of course, it wants to hold on to things. Now, there's something really interesting that happens as you start embarking on a spiritual journey, is that the ego starts to become spiritual. And I see this, and I think it can be really dangerous, and I call it the spiritual ego. All of a sudden, you start considering yourself spiritual, and it's just another thing that the ego starts to identify with, and it starts to hold on to, and it starts to think like, oh, well, I'm spiritual, and so I'm above them, and I have a higher consciousness than these people over here, and you know, and you start just kind of airing. And even if you are spiritual, so all of a sudden, like what I did when I started becoming spiritual, I started becoming super nice to everybody, because I was like, oh, I'm spiritual now and I need to be nice to people. And when I would judge people in my mind, even though it wasn't judgment, I think sometimes it was just discernment, I would, you know, berate myself and be like, oh, you should be nice, give them a chance. That's not spiritual, actually. Negating yourself and dishonoring yourself there's nothing spiritual about it. So we want to just, again, completely opt out of this game, thinking that we're lacking in any way, because that is the pervasive belief that is evading a lot of this new age spirituality and all this personal development, is that you're lacking, and in order to get more, or in order to be more, you have to get more. And that's just not true. And I heard this analogy recently and I really loved it. So think about a drop of water. If a drop of water believes that it's separate, then it's going to wish for more water so it can feel bigger and stronger and safer and more abundant. But once that drop of water realizes that, oh, I'm the whole entire ocean, I'm not just this one drop, then it's never going to long for anything. it knows that it's connected to everything. And so if it wants more abundance, or if it wants to experience something, it knows that it's not separate from it and that it can have that experience. So I invite you into that, into understanding that you are not just a drop in the ocean, you are the whole entire ocean. You are all that is. You are the one consciousness looking through an individualized lens. And whatever is happening in your life right now, I want you to really honor it. I want you to honor where you are. Only when you fully accept something and honor it can you actually change it. When you're trying to be somewhere else or get somewhere else, it means that you don't like where you are. And I truly believe that part of the reason that we're here is to learn compassion and learn to integrate every single part of us, which means integrate every single thing that you're going through, right? And so you can say, like, I honor where I'm at right now. Maybe it's that you don't have a lot of money. You can say, I honor this experience of not having money. And I understand that this is a valid choice in creation. And I'm actually going to choose to have more money and to live in a state of flow and abundance. And that is only when you can start actually creating more abundance in your life, when you accept where you are, and not just try to run away from it. And I've talked about this in other videos before, but as long as you're trying to run away from something, you're literally entrenching yourself into that very thing. Because if creation wants us integrated in all ways, then it means you're cutting off half of its experience. And so we want to allow those experiences in and realize that every single thing you experience in this life is a privilege. And I understand that might be a hard pill to swallow for people who are going through really difficult times, but it is a privilege. It's a privilege to be here on earth in this present moment, in this exact body that you're in. And so how can you start living from that place of, this is an honor and a privilege. And instead of resisting things, resisting so much about where you are, can you open up to it instead? Resistance comes all from the mind. It's just the ego saying, I don't like this, I don't want this, I want something different. And in that resistance, energy is completely blocked. And so I want you to start opening up that channel again and thinking about, okay, I understand that what I'm going through right now is happening for a reason. It's trying to help me integrate this. It's helping me have compassion for other people in this situation. It's helping me in ways. There are definitive gifts that you are getting out of your situation. I encourage you to sit down and make a list of 5 reasons why what you're going through right now is in fact a gift. Okay, and maybe you can't see it now. Maybe 5 is a stretch and you're not going to be able to see it, but I promise you at some point you will be able to see the gifts in this situation. It happens all the time, right? Something happens in somebody's life and then they come out the other side and say, wow, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. One of my very dear friends who are ones that helped me embark on this journey and had me come into my mediumship skills are my friends, and I'm not going to name them, but there are a couple who lost their son. And I truly believe that that is one of the worst things that can happen in this lifetime, is losing a child. And if you meet them, they are the brightest lights in the world, and the work that they're doing in the world, giving back to other families who've lost their children, and they chose to still have a very joyful and beautiful life, and they are connected with their son all the time. He sends them amazing signs and signals and all kinds of fun stuff. But they said to me before, they're like, of course we would always want our son here. They're like, but this was such a gift in our lives because it woke us up. And I love that. They said that they were asleep before, that they were going through the motions. And now they live such a rich life, and they really, like, they look at them and they truly are living their best life. They're always doing amazing and fun things. And so it's really all about the perspective. It truly is a privilege and an honor to be here at this time. And everything that you're going through is helping mold you into the person that your soul came here to be and intended to be. Not saying that you're not perfect now already, but I like to say that a diamond isn't made a diamond unless it's under pressure, right? And so there's potential. We have so much potential energy inside of us that can come out. And so a lot of times these events are some of that pressure to help us come into our diamond. But I don't want to take away from the fact that you are everything you already wish to be. You are a whole. You are a fractal of the whole. And if you're a fractal of the whole, it means you contain the entire universe within you. And so think about the qualities and the characteristics, and think about how that they're two sides of the same coin, and that there has to be a third focal point, something deeper that's creating those two things. And you are what is creating that duality. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your comments and thoughts on this. And if you make that list about what the gifts are in your current situation, I would love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more.